But let's talk about Maruti. Came out with their auto sales numbers yesterday. It's a mixed bag for Maruti in the month of November. Their total sales were up 14% year on year, but exports have contracted. The company said shortage of electronic components had a minor impact on the production of vehicles. My colleague Parikshit caught up with Shashank Srivastava, Senior Executive Officer, Marketing and Sales at Maruti Suzuki India, and began by asking about the November auto sales performance and the outlook going ahead.
November was, I think, a good month in the sense that we saw almost on all the demand parameters, good stability. The total wholesale in the industry it ended with 322,860 vehicles against 245,600 of last year. So that's a growth of 31.5% for the industry. That's pretty good. The retail estimate, though, are a little lower than the wholesale number. It's about 285,000 in the industry, 286,000 against the wholesale of 323,000. So the wholesale numbers are the highest ever November, actually. And this is the sixth consecutive month where we have seen the industry wholesale numbers more than 300,000. And an interesting point is that if you take 2.9 lakh, that 290,000 as the cutoff, then it is the 11th straight month where we have crossed that 2.9 lakh number. So it seems to be as if the industry has recovered to the beyond the pre-COVID levels.
Right. So you're saying that industry has recovered beyond pre-COVID levels. But just to ask you about Maruti Suzuki, in the statement from the company, you said that the shortage of electronic components had a minor impact on production, mainly in domestic models. Give us a sense of which were the segments, which were the models that were impacted, and to what extent?
Yeah, so the segments which were impacted to a large extent were the Ertiga, the XL6, which is, the MPV category, the Brezza and the Vitara, the Grand Vitara, which is in the SUV category, and also to some extent in the Swift and Baleno, which are in the premium hatch category. So these have been the models which have been affected to some extent by the non-availability of the semiconductor components. And of course, there were other models where we saw good recovery, especially in the Wagoner, Celerio, Ignis, Alto, Espresso segment, where we could have production back to the normal levels.
Right. What would be the current production shortfall?
So if you look at our pending bookings, they are around 375,000 at the moment. So obviously, and the bookings are largely in these models which I just mentioned. Obviously, our first target is to increase production of these models so that not only can we increase our volumes, but also help the consumers, more importantly, to have a lower waiting period. They've been waiting for quite some time in these models, and hopefully we can lower the waiting periods.
That's the Maruti management.